So share the video. That's what I'm doing. So we gotta start so early. Sorry we had to start so early, but it was either this or 11 o'clock tonight, and I think that a lot of y'all may not have been able to make that because people would have had activities and things to do and stuff like that. Anyway, Auld Lang Syne, pronounced Auld Lang Syne, is a Scots poem written by Robert Burns in 1788 and set to the tune of a traditional folk song, Roud. It is well known in many countries, especially in the English-speaking world, its traditional use being to bid farewell to the old year at the stroke of midnight. By extension, it is also sung at funerals, graduations, and as a farewell or ending to other occasions. I did not know that. The international scouting movement in many countries uses it to close jamborees and other functions. The song's Scots title may be translated into standard English as Old Long Since, or more idiomatically, Long Long Ago, Days Gone By, or Older Times. Consequently, for Auld Lang Syne, as it appears in the first line of the chorus, might be translated for the sake of old times. The phrase Auld Lang Syne is also used in similar poems by Robert Ayton, Alan Ramsay, and James Watson, as well as older folk songs predating Burns. Matthew Fitt uses the phrase in the days of Auld Lang Syne as the equivalent of once upon a time in his retelling of fairy tales in the Scots language. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never thought upon, the flames of love extinguished and fully past and gone? Is thy sweetheart now grown so cold, that loving breast of thine, that thou canst never once reflect on Auld Lang Syne? On Auld Lang Syne, my dear, on Auld Lang Syne, that thou canst never once reflect on Auld Lang Syne. That's that. I guess we will catch up with everybody when everybody sees that the video was live and they will cuss, but there's no way around it, and I apologize for that. I have other commitments tonight, and so we need to get past this. Yeah. So, and I want to say this, please, to everybody. I want to say this, please. I love all the greetings. I love the fact that you think about me to send me a greeting. But I want to say this, and maybe this is just me, but I prefer 1 or 2 lines of a genuine, authentic, you send me a greeting, rather than forward me somebody else's video or somebody else's picture or somebody else's stuff. Because to be quite honest, I get the same thing 100 million times and it loses its thing. Alright, let's look at this. Section 98(1), except as prescribed by regulations under this Act, any person who throws, casts, sets fire to, or lets off any firework within any town is liable to a fine of $1,000. In this section and in the sections 100 and 101, town includes the city of Port of Spain, the city of San Fernando, and the borough of Arima, and every part of the area within 2 miles of the boundaries of such city or of either of such borough, and also any place or area declared by the minister by order to be a town or to be deemed to be included within a town for the purposes of said sections. 100. Any person who throws, casts, sets fire to, or lets off any fireworks into, in, or upon any street not being in any town, or into or upon any place being within 60 feet of the center of any such street is liable to a fine of $400. Understand that it is against the law. It is against the law. Somebody just said, I talk too much. You come on my live video, you tell me I talk too much. What, near loss or? No, but seriously, it's against the law. And there's a reason. In Great Britain, the United Kingdom, there are 3 days that you're allowed to set off fireworks within a specific period of time, and it is published. Like how the government has to publish what streets are closed for carnival and that kind of bacchanal. And it's a similar thing, and it's published. And Guy Fawkes Day, I believe, Diwali, and All Year's Night. But it's for a specific amount of hours. I think it's 2 hours in specific areas under specific circumstances. And that is what is different in Trinidad and Tobago. So last night when the rain started to fall, you know your boy, I put out a post on Facebook and it got some heat. Not much heat, surprisingly. But it got some heat, and I want to read what I posted because somebody took me to task for what I said. So I want to address that. As usual, it's 100 million posts to get to where I want to go. I posted last night, 19 hours ago. If we're lucky, it'll rain like this for the next 48 hours and drive those firework peddling assholes out of business. Now, first of all, everybody that has a problem with foul language but have no problem with government and opposition and parliamentarians taking advantage of the opportunity to serve you, to serve themselves, miss me with your bullshit. Don't come near me if you're talking about what I say and you're not talking about what other people doing. You're already confused and led astray in your mind, and there's nothing that I could do to help you. So I want to be very clear. I want to be very, very clear. I stand by those words. But to the people who say, Phil, if it rains too much, flood will happen in this land where the infrastructure, the drainage, do not work, they've never been properly built, they're not maintained, and flood happens when too much rainfall. I want to say there's a fine line between stupidity and not understanding how things are supposed to work. You cannot curse the rain that we need to live because we can't manage our own drainage. If we don't understand that, I think we should stop. I think we should stop trying to pretend to be a country. Because we cuss in the sky, we cuss in the clouds, we cuss in the weather, we cuss in the rain. But we ain't cussing the jackasses in the parliament who don't know yet that one of their jobs is to make sure and handle the rain. Now there's a company in Trinidad and Tobago, an organization called the Water and Sewage Authority, WASA. With a name like Water and Sewage Authority, one would assume that they have an idea of what they're doing. One would assume that. So to blame the rain for flooding is as idiotic as you could get. So if I block you from posting on my wall, it's not that I vex that you say that, you know. You could talk all the shit you want to talk. Just don't talk it by me now. Because you see, when assholes come on my wall and talk shit like that, it's make me want to give up politics. It's make me think, you know what? These people are ready too stupid to save. They're too stupid to save. If you don't understand that we've been dealing with rainwater in Trinidad and Tobago since 1492 recorded history. And the Caribs and Arawaks dealing with it before that. The land here a billion years. The rain is not the problem. In fact, the rain is the blessing. That's why it's lush and it's green and it's fertile. That's why it's not a desert, because we have rain. But what we don't have, what we've never had, is a government that understood their responsibility. You see, and I keep saying, you all keep voting people into government. It's like you marry, it's like, I want to tell you about it. It's like you marry somebody that you expect to take care of that person's responsibilities in the marriage, and then they just go their merry way. And 10 years later, they show back up and consider themselves still married to you. And you are wonder, but what the hell is going on? We keep voting into office people that we think, there are two sides to the equation. We think that they're going in there to see about our well-being. They think they're going inside there to pay back finances and thief out everything. That's what they do. That's what they do. A bunch of fellas in this country that is hang around both political parties like flies on a dead bison ass. In this country, they're doing well now, you know. They're doing well now because they are contractors. But they're not contractors in the traditional sense of contractor where you think that they will come and build a building and get paid for building a building. No, that kind of contractor. This is the kind of contractor they are. They are serial contract-winning people. They create organizations out of the blue and they come to you and they tell you, hey, they have a company in Holland that's selling lights that you could, solar lights that you could stick on the sidewalk and it will light the road. And it's $50,000 for one. We could get it, and if you allow us, we could sell it to you for $1 million for one, and you could get $150,000, and that minister could get $150,000, prime minister could get $150,000, we keep the rest. And they come up with contracts for everything. So when you see things happening, it's like the $400 million contract to build the highway to nowhere in Manzanilla. No matter what you do, the country could cry blood. Listen now, the EMA say, we do not give you permission. And the government say, we're building it anyway. Look your contract there, Calco. Bail out. They've shown you, this PNM, you see what's going on here is dregs in the treasury. So this PNM show you, we ain't got time to friggin' play games anymore. All they know is thief. We thiefing. All they know is thief. All they know. Then what we do, we come to thief. We come to thief. So we ain't care all they think. Bridgman Services, but they beat up, send Mark Basanto all over the world, beat up and Cabo Star and Ocean Flower. Is that all they're riding to Tobago? Give me a break. We come to thief. We come to thief and bull all them little girls in the media. If we bullying all them little girls in the media, them can't write no story or read no story against us. That's your government. That's your government. That is what you are paying. You are paying all last night. It's all last night, Phillip. Richard Blaze tell me to take a break. I said, I want to tell him, boy, the country on fire. When I go quiet, when I stop talking, is because I have admitted defeat and I go on. Telling you. Because if you're getting chained up, tied up, misdirected with small talk, and you're not taking on what really going on in the country, we arguing, hear me, we arguing Rowley mother count, but we ain't studying Rowley murder count. As we. How you expect us to get anywhere as a nation? You see, I put out a post and I asked people to suggest names for the jackass of the year. Because I had a couple names on the title. I wanted to call out whoever was the commanding officer that sent 12 police cars to lock up one overweight lawyer in Chaguanas. Packed with police, you know. And then they sent 2 police to lock up Spanish in the Beaterman cause riot. That is a jackass decision. That deserves a jackass award. But plenty other people, John Prince of Telecommunications Association of Tobago, he deserves a Jackass of the Year award. He put out one advisory on one song because it affected the PNM that gave him the work that he's stunting with. That paid his salary. You see, he think because the PNM could fire him, he need to defend the PNM, use the power of state politically, and attacked massive go sign. John Prince deserves a Jackass of the Year award. The man that everybody expecting to win the award this year, early in the year, gone quiet, Coleman Bud destroyed the nation's economy. We are now in 6 years of negative growth. That stunting jackass have no idea what he doing. He have no clue. He just like himself driving his short ass up and down in the big boat trying to pretend that he is something because he gave back a state work. And you're allowing that jackass to destroy Trinidad's economy. And he ain't saying nothing. But for what he did, for the fact that big shot companies, Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance cannot tell us why Subway, KFC, Starbucks, Rituals, Pizza Boys, Vemco, these companies could get all the US they want. All the car importing companies could get all the US they want. But you can't get no US because Coleman Bud come to tell you, them in charge now. And now we're getting middle finger after middle finger. You don't like it, switch me off. Because all I come to give you is the truth. And when I go silent, when I stop talking, it's fire truck this. Listen, Your Attorney General deserves a Jackass of the Year award. That man watched up 2 pictures, his son and his daughter, with guns and kamutons. I ain't sure that is my children. Give the man a Jackass of the Year award. Not for that. Give me Jackass of the Year award for trying with 2 laws to silence people. You see, they're bullying all the little girls and some of the boys in the media. So them can't publish, but social media jamming them hard. And they can't bull all away. They may have that kind of Viagra. So they want to turn off social media. Since they jump in power, Shamfa Kujo was the first one to come out and talk about social media giving China a bad name. Not the murders, not Rowley murder count. Not Rowley murder count giving China a bad name. Not the corruption and the kickbacks and the bribery and the failure of the public service. That's not giving China a bad name. The foreigners getting murdered, the violent crime, the gang violence, us recruiting for ISIS. None of that. That's not giving China a bad name. Social media. Social media giving China a bad name. So what they try to do, and this jackass, Faris Al-Rawi, Al-Baghdadi, Johnny Sukaran, a.k.a. Faris Al-Rawi, tried with 2 laws, the cybercrime bill, and then recently with the anti-gang bill, to fool black people, chain up black people, tie them up and put their foot in the neck, and tell them we love you, we care about you, smell the underneath of my shoes, and it's smelling nice, that is for you, from us, Balize, love you, yes? And black people walking around stupid, talking that bullshit too. We need the anti-gang bill. We black people can't be trusted with our own self, so we need an anti-gang bill. And Faris actually went and take ads in the papers. But what we found was in the law, tied up in the law, buried inside the law, was draconian free speech suppressing Faris al-Baghdadi. That is a Jackass of the Year. You expect him to win. You didn't expect, I mean, listen, Stuart Young, he's a contender for a mini donkey award. He's not a full jackass. He had to get a mini donkey award for starting off the year bold, making an ass of everybody else, and then end the year making an ass of himself. At the stroke of midnight tonight, the people of La Hoqueta Talparo would not have been without a member of parliament in the nation's parliament since the 16th of December. In the page, they have a Facebook page, La Hoqueta Talparo. When you go on the page, you will see a letter from, ostensibly, Maxi Coffee, thanking everybody for standing with him while he's going through his little $12,000 a day stint in Washington. And you are left to believe that Maxi wrote that. But there are 67 comments on the page, and I read all 67 comments, and all of them were loving, kissing, ear stroking, eyebrow combing, and loving up for Maxi. And I wondered, nobody asked a single question. So I asked a question, and in 3 minutes flat, it was deleted. Stuarty boy, you are just suppressing anybody asking a single question. At 12 midnight tonight, Stuart Young, because when I had put out in the public space that Maxi Coffee is brain dead and on life support in Washington, Stuart Young, because it got past all the little girls they bullying, because it got into the public space and people started to ask questions, they had to come and deal with it. So they had to call a press conference of all the little girls that they're bullying, and Stuart Young had to tell them, anybody that have a problem with me referring to the journalists in Trinidad as all these little girls they bullying, turn me off, because you ain't ready for the truth yet. Take your jab. You see that foot in your neck? The smell underneath that shoe is brought to you by the PNN because they care. But Stuart Young called all those little girls together and told them that not only did he speak with Maxi today, Maxi is doing well. Maxi is doing cartwheels. Maxi is on his way back and will be back in Trinidad to work in December. So I asked Stuart for 2 things. I asked Stuart for proof of life and fit for work certificate. Because if it is true, if Maxi is in fact doing cartwheels in the ward, then it is easy for us to get a video of Maxi doing a cartwheel. Or you could just have Maxi say, hey peeps, doing well, on my way back, see you soon. You can line hold up a newspaper, but we will just take your word for it. And we take Rowley word for it when he bring the child mother just before the election to say she was of age when he was the school teacher and he molested her, and we took his word for it, Faris and him, when they create that video. We'd have take this video too. We'd have take it too. Stuart, you can't do it. You couldn't do a video. You couldn't take a picture of Maxi Coffee for us, boy. So at midnight tonight, Stuart would have lied because there's no sign of Maxi Coffee. No sign of Maxi Coffee. Nobody have a video or a picture. Christmas just passed. Not one picture on any of Maxi family pages. Me and Dad opening my basketball. Look, me and Dad trying out my new bicycle. Nothing. Nothing with Maxi kissing the wife. Me and the wife trying out a whole bunch of creme. not one ass. But we get a letter written by Maxie on the La Hoqueta Talpara wall, which makes me beg a lot of questions, but I will stick a pin in that and just say, Stuart, you have to get a Jackass of the Year award for that. And of course there is a last minute entry, the Fat Ass Brigade. The Fat Ass Brigade. Eric Williams named the PNM's Women League the Fat Ass Brigade. And if it is good enough for Eric, the father of the nation, it's good enough for me. The Fat Ass Brigade get caught by trying to tell the nation, Stuart, Maria didn't throw Stuart out for sleeping with Asha Javid. That is a lie. That Daryl Smith didn't get catch with his secretary. That is a lie. That Keith Rowley, not, anyway, we're going to leave he for last. And then the Fat Ass Brigade, led by Camille Robinson Regis, who gets a Jackass of the Year award for still not answering for the $142,000 that she went into a bank with cash in a brown paper bag. Not even drug lords do that anymore. Not even the contractocracy, the flies on the ass of the dead bison, not even them so foolish. But Camille is a jackass, and she deserves a Jackass of the Year award for trying to go with her, however ill or well-gotten gains, to deposit $142,000 cash in the bank. Led by her, the Fat Ass Brigade created the International Women's Network. And the International Women's Network, all of whoever is in that network, gets a combined Jackass of the Year award for putting out one release on one issue that brought all of the women and all of the mothers in the nation into complete odium. Rowley Mother Count. They wasn't there for geometry, they wasn't there for cat, and they wasn't there for grooming. They're just there for this. And the Fat Ass Brigade put out a release saying, Stuarty not in Bacchanal, Daryl not in Bacchanal, Rowley not in Bacchanal, nobody in Bacchanal. It's all a big lie. It's fake news. The entire PNM are church-going men and women who show up every Sunday morning to repent before God, rend their garments, and start work Monday morning. But right after their release, Fat Man, Beach Whale, Minister of Sports, Daryl Smith, put out a release of his own. Say his wife trying to wreck his reputation. His wife is trying to wreck his reputation. Not that he get catch in his house, in his family, or with his family, with his little secretary, who he was romping with in Tobago on the taxpayers' dime. Not that, but that his wife would have the audacity to say, look the asshole that I married. Look him here. Daryl, you are Jackass of the Year by default every year until you leave that work. Because you're a big fat man who can't walk a race, much less run one. And if you're the Minister of Sport, you should look the part. And that's what your Jackass of the Year award is for. But then you're eclipsing men like Woodsman. Woodsman should have got a Jackass of the Year award just for that. Just for telling people about his wood. Who the hell will look at this decrepit, dust-breathing dinosaur, Anthony Garcia, Minister of Education, and want to think about his wood? Who? And that is the leader of the nation's children, the Minister of Education. But that is not what he gained it for, you know. He gained it for because he's taking so much licks on his failure to manage the education system that is collapsing on itself. And to quote his leader, have all the children devolving into wild hyenas from an African jungle. That's how Keith Rowley referred to all the children. He called them Duncy Head. Duncy Head children. That's what Keith Rowley called all them little black children in all them secondary school. Wild hyenas from an African jungle. So the only way to manage that is to fake news it. And to fake news it, you had to say, fighting is normal for growing up. And people ask, where? Woodsman, in your house? Because the rest of us try to teach our children, try not to fight now. Learn to get along. We want to learn to be, but then just take your Jackass award and go your way. That leaves only 2 more awards. One of them is going to the first black Syrian, the Crown Prince of Geometry, Catman himself. It's going to, what was her name? Navina's boyfriend. It's going to Sharon's mistake. It going to the father not of the nation but multiples of other women's children. Keep Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley. That jackass, Catman himself, the crown prince, the crown prince of geometry. That is our clown. That day, Landgate, Cleaver Heights, that day. We will never forget. We will never forget you, Keith Rowley. Double-tongued, hypocrite, deceitful son of a bitch. You are only prime minister because you spend some powerful Syrian money making the UNC look like ass. And you didn't have to spend powerful Syrian money to make this UNC look like ass. The UNC was happy to make themselves look like ass all by themselves. Them spend money on an election with a jackass, a frog-faced bald man named Rodney Charles, walking all over town, spinning wheels. And they call that an election campaign. So when they get the ass cut, Kamala end up stupid, stand up outside Rienzi, and if to come or if to go, she cuss away everybody, and even the driver leave her. She nearly had to walk home to separate her. All her people line up down there waiting for somebody to come and say, hey, this is how it goes. The people have spoken, Vox Populi, yada, yada, yada. She said, fire truck all of them. Kamala. The UNC was more than willing to do it for themselves. So Rowley didn't have to spend powerful Syrian money. And that money in 2018 is what I am going to talk about. Because there is money in this country that nobody understands, but we will stick a pin in that. We'll come back to this. Keith Rowley, as the first black Syrian, you have destroyed any semblance of any credibility for the People's National Movement again. Eric Williams, he ain't turn over in the grave, you know. He get out the coffin, slam it shut and gone. He ain't want nothing to do with Trinidad again. Manning had to take his jam because he was Manning big child. Manning unleashed you on the world. So Manning had to take that. Even though Manning come back in 2009 to say, my friend, when he gets angry, he becomes a raging bull. But Manning, it was too late to save yourself because you bring Rowley in that. The 31 years that we have Rowley, that we're dealing with him, you do that, Manning. You were snatching and grabbing anything that was willing to jump out yourself and say, I PNN. So you know what, Rowley, what you've done to Trinidad and Tobago in 2.5 short years, you've destroyed the social fabric. You've put races against each other. You've made black people unsure of what their role is in society anymore. You've collapsed the economy. You've overseen a marauding murder and violence rate heretofore never seen in this country. You have demoralized every single person. You've destroyed the PNM. After you, nobody will ever, not even the most raging sycophant, will be willing to put their name on against that ball. Say, after you and your little cabal, it's done. PNM, this is the last hurrah. After this, the PNM over. But if that was the only concern, we win. But we've lost because you're still there. And you're the prime minister and you're destroying the country under your watch. The rest of the world is booming and Trinidad is collapsing while your friends building malls on farmland. You, Keith Rowley, you only come second in the Jackass of the Year competition. You almost was the Jackass of the Year, though. You almost won. You, Keith Rowley. Up to the wire, I thought you, Keith Rowley, were the Jackass of the Year. But you get edged out. You get edged out. You get beaten. You get beaten for the title by the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We are the Jackass of the Year. That you and your clown car of incompetence, your corrupt band of malcontents, that you and they could still be holding public office in this country on that track record, and we throw ourselves out in the street yet and fire your ass. We is the jackass of the year. Hear what I'm telling you? We is the jackass of the year.
This is massive cosine.
Trinidad and Tobago. Stand up with pride. And I only have to play the song for John Prince. So this is my middle finger to the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago and to John Prince. You can't ban it. We will not allow it. Not that I love it, but because if you didn't ban the others, can't ban it. Not on my watch. No way.
Stephen and doing what they wanted, forcing Rowdy Mother to take an account. All the pepper on the tree, all the bygone and the money, the plantain, the cucumber, the pumpkin, the zapoca, even all the okra that turn every month. Rowdy Mother, Rowdy Mother, Rowdy Mother.
Take that, boy. Take that, and it now start, and this is a democracy, and on our watch I want to tell you something. You're not going to get away with it. Not you, not Faris, not Daryl, not Stewart, not Garcia, not Missing in Action Edmund Dillon. You know why he ain't get a Jackass of the Year award? Because he running and he hiding from it. But you know, take one in the mail. One day you'll open your mail and just like the traffic ticket, the speeding ticket, yeah, look, you've won Jackass of the Year award. Listen, 2018 in 6 hours, 5 hours and 18 minutes. It will be 2018. I want to tell you something. When you are being beaten, when you are in the corner, when you are being abused every single day, when you are being beaten into submission, when you are being abused, there comes a day when you have to decide to roll over and die or stand up and fight for yourself. 2018, you get to decide. On the 20th of January, we're calling the country out. We're calling the country out to come together in Lange Park, Chaguanas at a massive rally to call this nation to order. Because the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago says two things. The people have rights and there is a remedy. We have a rogue and failed government, and we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have the responsibility to fire them. So on the 20th of January at 3 p.m. in Lange Park, Chaguanas, come from all 4 corners of the nation and make yourself present. Add your voice, because I want to tell you something. The opportunities to stand up. I remember telling a woman once, and I told a friend, and then she told me the same story back. But I told a woman once, whose husband was beating her. I asked her, I said, what he's do after he beat you? She said, he's going to sleep. I said, go in the butcher's block in the kitchen. They have a knife. I don't know what that knife for. That knife is like, in everybody butcher block, in every knife set, there's coming one big ass knife. I ain't have dice for killing cow. I said, go and take that knife and just rest it on his chest. Just rest it there. When he wake up in the morning, let him see it there. And when he asks you why it there, say, no matter what you do me now, don't ever beat me and fall asleep again. She said that was the last time he ever hit her. It is time that people in this country understood. Shake off the slave mentality. Shake off the house nigger identity. Shake off the let me get white, let me get right, let me get uptight. Shake off all that bullshit. Shake off let me impress my neighbors and the people who watching me in the street. Shake off all of that and realize what your only role in this life is. You're not nobody's laborer. You're not a foolish consumer. And you're not a jackass for life. It is time you understood your role, and it is time that this become alive. Make this alive for me. Can anybody? Because if you don't stand up for yourself, and if you don't stand up for your loved ones, and if you don't stand up for your country, that is your future. The EBC has announced that because of the rain today, 2017 will be extended by an hour. Yes, that is an insulting joke in a country where the courts found that the action was wrong, but the outcome wasn't. And I didn't understand that. But then Faris gave us the whole analogy of the unicorn and the rider. Yes, you know unicorn, but check out what the rider wearing. All of you, I'm going to say this, I am the most unlikely leader. I am the most unlikely voice. I was the last person to have to stand up and do these things and say these things. And I know a lot of you want your bullshit properly packaged, sugar-coated with some chocolate sprinkles. If you're giving me bullshit, give it to me nice. And I don't have bullshit to share. I don't have bullshit to share. All you're going to get from me is truth. And a lot of you have been feasting on bullshit for so long that you don't know how to take truth. Truth is simple. Truth is not personal, you know. Truth just is truth. Bullshit have to fool you. Bullshit need to sugarcoat and chocolate cover itself. Truth is just truth. To the young lady today who take me to task, she say, I would have voted for you, but your use of these obscene words, the word asshole, I can't vote for you. And I'm going and I check because it was the post about the fireworks. And I see she and the fireworks man hugging up tight and I say, you'll miss me with your bullshit, eh? Well, don't think I now come out here. I didn't want this, you know, but don't think you're going to come and fool me. They'll come all inside the party to detonate themselves like little bombs. And after they fire out and they're gone, I will still be here. And the PEP will still be growing. This moment in our time, this is it here. We may not be the most polite. We may not be the most well-dressed. We are certainly not the most financed. But we are the fastest growing political party in this country's history. And we have more plans, programs, ideas, and initiatives than any other party around. Our solutions are so spot on that even our detractors have to say, you know what, their idea is good, I just don't like he. Let me tell you something. Don't like me at all. Because some of you like Rowley. And if that is where all your taste is, don't bring me in that bullshit. I'm not here for friends, and I keep saying that. Somebody wrote something in the paper. And I don't know if it's a typo, because they wrote fixing our moral compass. But when I go, I just go and check, and I just read all the titles to all the letters of the editor, and I say, yes, you all don't have to publish PEP. But see all them people you're publishing, that's PEP acolytes. That is disciples at the altar of free thought and new knowledge, and they coming at your ass from all sides. So don't publish me, publish everybody else who hearing my words. A lot is being said by the two major, hear this and tell me if you don't think I wrote this. A lot is being said by the two major political parties, the People National Movement and the United National Congress, about the current use of social media for the spreading of false news and attacks against political opponents on either side. In the most recent cases, Ministers Stuart Young and Darrell Smith have been scrutinized for issues affecting their private lives. The men themselves and the supporters have argued that their private lives should not be brought into public glare, while the ministers have also attempted to deflect the criticism which have come as a result of information now in the public domain. Both men must understand this. When one becomes a public official, they also become public property. In case they are unaware of what this entails, it means that they and their colleagues alike, who are perceived to be exemplars due to their high office, must adopt an ethical moral code which will allow them to stand up to any scrutiny, since as public officials they are answerable for all aspects of their lives, public and private. This does not mean merely being discreet, as some have argued, but being ethically and morally correct in their actions at all times. If the gentlemen and all those who offer such arguments are unable or unprepared to accept such guidelines in the current offices they hold, they should also be prepared to make their departures, since the scrutiny will not end. And that is spot on. And I said, Rowley mother count. If Rowley wasn't jackass that he is, if he wasn't the biggest failure of a government we've ever had and a prime minister we've ever had, Massive could have sing his song. Nobody else would have sing it. And Rowley, to make it worse, if it wasn't for the Fat Ass Brigade digging up in this song, people like me, we'd have never hear it. I watched that jump from 13,000 YouTube views to, I think it must have crossed 100,000 by now, just because y'all interfere with it. All of you who think that you could come into public office, like Faris Al-Rawi, who believe he is entitled to privacy, but the rest of us aren't, miss me with your bullshit, eh? Like the dye in your hair going down in your brain and rotting it. Miss me and the rest of the country, Faris Al-Rawi, with your stunting bullshit. I'm happy that they finally see you for what you are, you know. You was a poser boy for the entire campaign. 5 years of Faris stunting. 5 years of Faris having all the answers. I remember when you sat down on Fazil Mohammed's show and compared some foolishness in Trinidad to the 9/11 collapse of the buildings, and I said, but look at this jackass. But then it's Trinidad politics. Trinidad politics is red for a while, yellow for a while, red for a while, yellow for a while. You don't care who abusing you. You're taking abuse one today, one tomorrow. And that is the foolishness. That is pure stinking foolishness. But the Progressive Empowerment Party is here now. Not only are we holding up a mirror for you to see yourself and what you've tolerated, we are holding up every one of those public office holders from the first day we were independent, and we're showing you everything that went wrong. And then we're giving you such sweet solutions to all that ails the society that even when they challenge us, we could provide evidence of fact. Unlike these two parties that are yet to deliver anything of substance to anyone. And every time this nation flood, if you have a red card or a yellow card in your wallet or your handbag, don't cuss, splash about. That is a politically sponsored swimming pool. You voted for that. Don't blame people and don't cuss the rain. The rain doing what rain does. It falls. So don't blame the rain. Blame yourself for being so foolish as to keep electing into office jackasses who have zero interest in serving you. Them house no flood, you know. Yours does. And when you realize that, you will start to act differently. Because I yet to see a flood situation, north, east, west, south, where a government minister sweeping flood water over the house. Check yourself. We reckon yourself. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's something else I want to share with you. Scott Fabres. Scott Fabres put this out today and I shared it. The issue with the landslip on the North Coast reflects most of what is wrong with our society. Again, listen to Scott Fabres' word. I want to tell you something. The people of this country are so awoke now that, as Khalil Gibran said, to massive media and Samgun News Network, you can muffle the drum and you can loosen the strings of the lyre. But who shall command the skylark not to sing. The amount of information that I have put in the public space, that we have put in the public space, it is too late. The Orange Army is washing upon you like a tsunami. It is coming. Change will happen, whether you're prepared for it, whether you approve of it, whether you like it or not. But hear what Scott Fabres put out. The issues with the landslip on the North Coast reflects most of what is wrong with our society. In 2017 alone, this road has been closed or blocked umpteen times. My partner Dave Lux telling people that this is a racket. That landslide is a constant racket for a contractor. Like under the People's Partnership, there was a hole that used to develop in South Key that was our next racket. But we will stick on this. Like everything else, do the minimum to allow us to pass the day and hope that this solves the problem in the long term. Like crime, education, politics, corruption, the justice system, overstaffed utilities, hospitals, the air bridge, sea bridge, poor work ethics. Let's put a piece of a plaster on it and hope that the issue goes away. Throw bad money afterwards and hope for the value of a miracle. Elect those that have been around and around and think that we are better off. One side of the country wins while the other loses, and the majority from both sides are led further down a slippery slope by the blind. Most of those who have never amounted to much outside of politics, who sit on both sides of the big house, hoodwink the old, young, poor, innocent, hard-working, greedy, uneducated, and educated alike. And we allow it. This is why we won the Jackass of the Year award. Unless we bite the bullet and address all of the above immediately, every aspect of 2018 will be more uncomfortable than 2017. The people are waking up. The people are waking up. They have something, and I'm not finding it, but I will. Right. Some of you will remember who were present for the last live video I did. Because when I went back to listen to the video, I was amazed that the explosions I was hearing was sounding like it was in my living room. And I said to you, this is not Gaza or Aleppo. A couple nights ago, I did a live video inside my house, and you could hear while I was speaking, I was being drummed out by loud scratch bomb and firework explosions. The crazy thing is that they were not even in my neighborhood, and I could only imagine the horror and the misery of those in close proximity. Now, there are some who say that fireworks give pleasure to those using it. But why should your pleasure come at the cost of misery to so many others? I have always said, use your fireworks where it can be of no nuisance to anyone else. But I cannot think where you can go and set off those ridiculous explosions and not affect either people or the animals in the vicinity. Others say fireworks provide employment, but so does drug trafficking and armed robbery. So should we allow those too? Shall we forget the rules and let anarchy reign? Last night's heavy rains brought so much relief as it silenced the noise, and I said if we were lucky, it would rain for the next 48 hours and drive the assholes that peddle fireworks out of business. I want to add heartless sons of bitches. I want to hammer home the point. To the ones who spoke about the flooding and my wishing for rain was heartless, should we then now wish for drought so we never flood? Or should we vote into government a political organization that would make flooding a thing of the past? Everyone knows, besides the failure of government to provide adequate infrastructure or regulate development planning and the cutting of the hills, plastic bottles are the leading contributors to blockages in the drains that exist and exacerbate the flooding. I have said time and again the solution is the application of a 25-cent or more tax at the manufacture and import stage of plastic bottles to encourage the homeless, the indigent, and the unemployable to pick the nation clean. In exchange for that refund, a win-win-win for everyone. The problem is, manufacturers and importers would rather not have responsibility for cleaning up after themselves. So they finance political parties instead and prevent them from bringing any such bill to Parliament. These problems are not so hard to solve. Fireworks should be regulated and controlled as they are in first world countries, limited to a short window of time, 2 or 3 times a year under specific circumstances in designated areas. Plastics need regulating, and a proper beverage container bill would solve flooding. What we have to do is apply our passions and voices where they matter. You cannot continue to play the ass with your governance and government to your peril. But if or when you end up facing the consequences of those choices, grin and bear it. And remember the times when we had opportunities to actually speak up, speak out, and do something about it. Or you can get beyond petty politics and stunts and stand up for yourself and demand better. While you're doing all of this, Your circle of safety is getting smaller. The consequences of inaction against governmental mismanagement are getting graver and greater. The choice before you is a simple one. You can vote yourself a better country, or you can let the worst continue. Going into 2018, we will make this road march. Tyrone Hernandez has been contacted, that's the man who sing the song, to rewrite it and come perform it on the 20th of January in Lange Park, Chaguanas. If what you want is a better country for yourself and your family, for your loved ones, if you want safety, security, hope and opportunity, if you want a better life, if you want to vote yourself a better nation, the 20th of January, Lange Park, Chaguanas. Fail beyond a doubt. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. To be only full of mouth. When you're voting, vote them out. I'm going to tell you, I would like to debate single-handedly the entire front line, PNM and UNC. I want to show you how to bring plans, programs and policies to the conversation and negate and dismiss their bullshit. Vote them out. You have a responsibility. Spread the word. Share this video. Share our messages. Invite others to the 6th of January. We'll Stanmore Avenue at noon. Bring a friend. Every single night, bring somebody else to this video. Bring other people to join. This is your country. This is your party. This is your chance. This is where we are today. Face our reality. PNM, UNC are not, PNM is the problem, UNC is not the solution. PNM and UNC are no longer your only choices. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the most progressive, proactive, properly constructed political party in this country. It is time for you to take responsibility for yourself and for your country. And enslave your soul, promising you roads and giving potholes.
If they are the reason why the economy won't sprout.
When you're voting,
If it is the passing laws,
that them alone must flout.
when you're voting, if it is the building ISOs, these restaurants,
Just as how you vote them in, vote them out.
register and totally stay finger and rescue the country. Put them
Derek Jones, you brought a friend, he never come back. Call him and ask him to get lost.
let's put our country together again. Put them out with calypso and joyous refrain.
Chip to that boot.
Put our country together again.
PEPTrenbago@gmail.com is the email address. Pep app, PEP, 2 separate words, available on all app stores free of charge. PEPTT.com, that's the website. That's all the ways to keep in touch with your political party. You cannot continue to sit down home hoping somebody else will save it. If we miss by one vote and we miss by your vote, you've consigned us to that future. The reality is we are all putting ourselves on the line. We are sacrificing and making ourselves available. You have a responsibility to your family, to your loved ones and your country to see that and match it. You need to stand up. You need to speak out. You need to say this is unacceptable. It is irresponsible that this country could be in a recession 2.5 years now and you've not tried agriculture and you've not tried tourism and you've not tried to attract foreign direct investment. You're playing smart with stupidness. You're abusing the country, misusing the economy to drive people out of business so your 1% Kabbalists could buy up people property and take over their companies. It is time for Trinidad and Tobago to stand its own defense. All the people who fleeing and running away from Trinidad, all you're doing is running to our next country where the people of that country at some point in their history stood up for it. It is your responsibility. This is your land. Don't go there and cry, you know. Stay here and fight. Trinidad and Tobago can be saved, and it can be saved quickly. Register yourself to vote. Join the Progressive Empowerment Party. Make yourself available to serve. We're looking for technocrats and professionals at every level. We need finance. We need humans. We need people. We need people on the ground. We are building out our entire constituency executive, 41 constituencies. All the people who are asking if you're joining with people. When you see a political party form, ask them, what is your party organization plan? What is your election mobilization plan? The PEP is mobilizing down to streets. We're mobilizing down to streets throughout this country. We've had 13 public meetings, even though mass media and Sabga News Network hiding it from you. Social media will show you. And we're building and we're growing. We need you to come on board. Don't wait to pile on when it become a bandwagon. Join now. Help build it. 2018, we level up. We will be 1 year old. Believe it or not, all that we've done, we're only 1 year old. January 18, 2018, or January 20th, we're having a massive public rally in Lange Park, Chaguanas. All are invited. Free food, free drinks, free entertainment, whatever we could get. It's food till food done and drinks till drinks done. Because if 50,000 people come, we run out. But you have to know, and we will have real good entertainment, people that you're not expecting. And we're making sure Mr. Massive Go Sign is there. So if you only get one feta plane, and oh yes, there will be an after party after the event right there. So come and join us. Make your presence felt. Make your voice heard. Stand up for your country. Yes, tomorrow is a brand new day. The advice that I have to give you is this. Break the year down for yourself. This is your own personal advice. When you have a plan for what you want to accomplish, and I tell people all the time, don't make resolutions. Resolutions is for pussies. Make plans. Have a vision for your life, where you would like to be at the end of 2018, what you would have liked to accomplish. See that, feel that, smell that, touch that. Break it down into 4 quarters. There are 4 quarters in a year. This is how businesses run. And each of those quarters, break it down by month, week, day. So you will know where you're supposed to be on the first Monday of the first week of the first month of the first quarter. That is the 1st of January. And start your business there. You are supposed to take care of yourself and your family. You are supposed to make yourself successful. You are the one responsible for you. Have personal responsibility and then social responsibility. Once you put your house in order, come and join with us. A nation of people set on fire for a better tomorrow, and we will do this. I will see you in the new year. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.